Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. I've been challenged by my subscribers to create a garden that is budget friendly, costs almost no money. You can grow a tomato, pepper, cucumber, some other plants in that space. But the whole key is starting it from scratch, spending little to no money. If you had a budget, you couldn't even afford fertilizers. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I was also asked, how do I protect it from deer and rabbits? So the first half of the video is going to be about setting up this space. I'm going to do it right from first dig. I'm going to seed plant the tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers. No transplants, they cost money. Of course, you have to buy seeds. I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I'm going to show you how to frame this up with fencing to protect it from deer and rabbits. You may not have that problem, so you don't need to do that. So here's my 4-foot space. What I'm choosing to do is a circle. And if you've ever wondered how to set that up, you just put a stake in the middle. This string is 2 feet long, and you just move it around just like that. And when you're done, you're gonna have a circle that has a 4-foot diameter going across. And I used peat moss just to mark out the ring at the end of the string. So we're going to only really use our time, our muscles, and we're going to prepare this completely for growing warm weather crops this year, and we're going to start from seed. I'm also going to introduce a couple other YouTubers who are going to join me in this teaching challenge as we go through this. Alright, so we're going to dig this up. If you have a tarp, use a tarp. I have one. If not, you're going to be putting this on the ground. But let's get started with digging up this 4-foot space. So the first part's done. Took about 15 minutes. Kind of got lucky. I have nice soil right here. Now, if you're digging where you've had grass for a decade or so, you're going to have really nice soil on the top 6 to 12 inches. So we're going to use that. That's great. We're not adding any fertilizers in here that are store-bought. So take off 4 to 6 inches of the grass, put it in a pile. That's going to get buried in the bottom of this. We're going to reuse it. The grass will break down, the roots will break down over time. So now that we've removed a good 4 to 6 inches, we're going to dig down another 10 to 12 inches. We're going down deep. It is going to take muscle and time, and we're going to put all that dirt over onto that tarp. And then we'll start constructing from the bottom up your new garden. Alright, so I actually went down about 2 feet. We're also going to make this a no-dig garden. Once you set this up, you're just going to have to put amendments on the top. You're not going to have to keep turning it over. So it's worth the effort. You don't have to go down this far if you don't want to. Over on the right is some nice looking dirt that came from the top. You see that it starts getting orange. As I got down further, more orange, more clay. Clay is full of micronutrients. That's awesome. We're going to reassemble all this. Down at the bottom, we're going to use worms' favorite food, cardboard. Just take off any plastic. You want any cardboard that doesn't have any glossy print on it. A bucket of browns. Just walk around your property, find some leaves that have been laying around, fill up a 5-gallon bucket, some fresh cut grass. That's all going to go in there. The grass from the top is going to go on in there. I'll show you how to do that. Also found a lot of roots. They're dead because the tree is gone that was here, but I'm going to break that up, put it down in the bottom. Kevin from EpicGardening is going to take part of this teaching challenge, which I think is wonderful. The more people we have showing you ways to dig a garden on a budget, the better. Kim from CaliKim may join us. She has less space than I do, so she's just kind of working out the details on that. So here's a little preview of what it's going to look like when we're done. Budget friendly, some hard work. There's extra soil. We make container mix using 50% peat moss, 50% of the soil that was left over here, equal parts 1-to-1. Kevin and Kim are going to work on videos similar to this, not this exact video, but ways that you can get started as a new gardener on a budget. So what I'm going to put down there first, bucket of greens, bucket of browns. You could put more in if you want. You can spread it out. You don't have to spread it out. Worms are going to love that. I'm going to put the grass down next, grass side down, just layer it on there, and then I'm going to put the cardboard on there. And you can get the idea. We're putting in all kinds of nutrients in there. Lots of nutrients in there. So I want to just backstep a second. So when you're picking a space, you want a space that gets 6 hours of sun or more, mostly flat, drains well, and any place that has been having grass, weeds, anything growing is going to have enough nutrients for the first year, if not the second year. You don't have to spend money putting in all these expensive amendments. Just use what's around your property. Cardboard is great. I'm going to put in several layers right on here. I'll show you how I do that. And then we're going to put the dirt back on top, mound it off. All right, so let me get to that. Now I did say we're doing this on a budget, not easily, meaning it takes a lot of effort to dig it. Put the effort in now, you'll be happy. All this stuff down here will break down over this year, be ready for the plant next year. You don't want to make it too thick with the greens and the browns and the different stuff in there. Just enough to give worms something to eat, something in there to break down. So once that's down, we're just taking all the grass and I'm going to go layer it just like this all the way around, and then we're going to hit it with the cardboard. So this is looking so good. We're going to have extra earth too if you want to put some of this probably in a container, because we're loosening everything up. Flipping the grass over, there's some air pockets in there, which is great for the root systems. Everything will get pressed down and weighted down when it rains. This is going to be a great spot. Now, I'm really excited about all the new gardeners that are, well, all the new people that are discovering gardening, becoming gardeners. If you want to do a video like this, please link it in the comment section of this video. I want to share this with as many people as we can. This is just one style. There's so many different ways to do it. Your style may be different. You'll have different soil conditions. Some people may do containers, but I think it would be great to really use this video in the comments to show people how they can start gardening on a budget. We're not spending any money right now, just putting in our time and our labor. I'll also put Kevin's and Kim's YouTube links in the video description. Check them out. They're wonderful channels, they're very good teachers, and they have lots of good information. So, grass is turned down, turned over, and we're just going to put in a layer of cardboard all around. Once this is in, you could wet it down and just let it conform to the shape of the mounds that are underneath of it. But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. When it rains, it's going to be perfectly fine. And that's just a layer in case any of the roots send up sprouts or anything. This will just keep that grass down. Then we're just going to rotate in soil from there that was down at the bottom with soil from over there, build up the mound, and I think you're getting the idea. But this is the easiest way to get started gardening. You don't need anything fancy. You're just basically digging a hole. We're spending a lot of time preparing the hole. You won't have to re-dig this, return this, and we're going to put all the amendments on top over the years, and the earthworms will just pull this down right into the lower part of this hole, and you'll be able to plant pretty easily going forward. Again, we're not spending any money on fertilizers or anything fancy. All right, so I put the red clay down. Just wanted to show you, crumble it up, break it up, make it nice and loose. Next layer is going to be from over there. Same thing, and just rotate your layers. We're going to make a nice mound. I'm going to do this video in two parts. Tomorrow I will show you the seed planting, also plant some transplants to give you an idea how to do that. And then I'll show you how I protect this from deer and rabbits. You do have to spend money on that. But I don't want the video to be too long. So this is just really setting up your 4-foot space for a tomato, some peppers, cucumber, maybe some beans, and some other plants that will cram into there. Again, no cost, budget friendly. We're just using resources from around the area. All right, I love the way this looks. Now, this is 4 feet wide because your arms are 2 feet, so we can reach in wherever we want, tend to the garden, we'll never have to step into it. So this is done, no cost. We have all this extra dirt, so this is bonus footage. I have a couple videos on this. You take one part, so that's a 5-gallon bucket of dirt on the right, 5 gallons of peat moss, mix them together, 1 handful for the bucket of dirt. Any organic fertilizer is perfectly fine as long as the N, P, and K are represented. Mix that together. We have a container mix made for pennies. You do have to spend money on cocoa coir peat moss. That's a 3-foot cubic bag of peat moss. That'll cost you $12 to $14. So I'm going to fix up this area, put down some cardboard, put down some mulch, some shredded hardwood, get this all ready for the next video, which I should be able to do tomorrow. And that will be planting seeds, planting transplants, putting up the protection against deer and rabbits. Check the video description, check out Kevin and Kim's YouTube channels, very educational, and I'll put some links into my Facebook group, my Instagram page, and I'm using hashtag support new gardeners if you want to start using that. I think it's really important to really help people out right now. Can't say enough about that. And if you can come up with a video, please put it into the comments of this video. All right, I'll come back in a minute to show you how this is all set up and prepped for tomorrow. So this is generally how this space is going to look. 4-foot circle. If you do a square, 4 feet by 4 feet, you'll get a little bit more room in the corners. But when I put up the fencing in the next video, it will be a cylinder shape. So I wanted to set it up that way. And this is just something different that I thought looked good in this space. Next video will come out tomorrow. Please subscribe to my channel. I will show you how I take care of the tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers that I put in here and whatever else I tend to pack into this space. Thanks for watching, and please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com.